In the production of O'Keeffe, acclaimed actress Carolyn Wickwire stars in the one-woman play about the art, the loves, and the life of 20th century iconic artist Georgia O'Keeffe. With Georgia being witty, irreverent, and decades ahead of her time, she shares revealing scenes from her challenging life as she struggles to maintain her independence in the early decades of the 20th century. Joining us now is the star of the show, Carolyn Wickwire, along with producer from Flower and Bone Productions, Dennis West. Guys, thanks for coming out. I know you're based in Dallas, so we appreciate you bringing the show here to the land of enchantment, home to Georgia O'Keeffe for many years. You have a quick plug that you want a quick shout out that you would like to give.
I really do, to the Aux Dog Theater, Nob Hill. That is an absolutely wonderful space to do this show in, and we very much appreciate the opportunity of being able to do it there.
Yeah, and I think it's a great venue for this show.
It's terrific for this.
So tell us a little bit about the show. What is the premise of this one-woman piece about Georgia O'Keeffe?
In this play, Georgia comes back from the dead to try to answer some unanswered questions in her life, and interacts with the audience and relives pivotal events in her life.
Okay.
From the time she was a student up until the point just after her husband Alfred Stieglitz dies.
Mm-hmm. So now, Dennis, you as a producer of this show, in your opinion, this isn't just for fans of Georgia O'Keeffe. This is something that everyone can kind of walk away with a great message. What do you think is so compelling about this work?
I think one of the things that's so compelling is we know of three women who it has changed their life. A synopsis of all three. They were artists. They became a wife. They became a mother. Art went to the background. After watching Georgia on stage, they went back to their art.
They went back to the art.
That's the thing.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great, and really just never kind of losing that core of what it is. I mean, life can sometimes take us in various directions, but if we can maintain that core of who we are and what inspires us, I think is great. And I mean, Georgia really had that happen in her life. She had, you know, what a lot of people would argue is a very tumultuous life with Alfred Stieglitz, finding her way as an artist in the early 20th century. So she comes out to New Mexico. She's got a place in Ghost Ranch and Abiquiu. Why do you think she was so inspired by this landscape? And is there something about, or is there maybe a passage in the show that you could share with us that kind of alludes to this?
I'd love to. Actually, the passage in the play comes when she first discovers Taos, but it really applies to her whole time in New Mexico. She'd been going through a very bad time, and she says, "The sky is so big and the sun so bright it bakes right through you. Clears all the ugly spots out. I can breathe, and my painting is opened up. The land and the colors out here, it's like it's halfway painted for you." You think.
Wow, that's great. That's great. And I mean, she, among many other artists, of course, a lot of her contemporaries, Marsden Hartley also came out, worked here a lot. Do you think that she was pretty integral in kind of establishing the Santa Fe Arts Colony and really making New Mexico what it was today in terms of the artists?
I really think Mabel Dodge Lewin was more responsible for that.
Okay. And what was her relationship to Georgia?
She met Georgia in New York at Stieglitz's gallery. She was a great patron of the arts. When Georgia had to get away from New York, she was feeling so oppressed, so claustrophobic. Mabel Dodge Lewin requested that she come out here. Well, her salon had already been established, really. D.H. Lawrence, his wife Frida, that's where Georgia met who became her lifelong friend, Ansel Adams. And I think that was really the start of the New Mexico art movement.
Okay, fantastic. Well, so Dennis, tell us about this production, the dates and times where we can see this. I know it's a limited engagement at the Aux Dog, and then you head up to Santa Fe and Taos, is that right?
That's correct. We are at the Aux Dog Theater on Monte Vista. We opened last night to a great audience, very enthusiastic. We're on tonight at 7:30, tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, and then we have a Saturday matinee before we leave for Santa Fe. So we hope a lot of people will come out. I think this play, it belongs in New Mexico.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, the story of Georgia O'Keeffe is very intrinsic to not just the art history of New Mexico, but the history of our state. So many people and so many artists like Georgia O'Keeffe, they use her work as sort of an indoor into our state, because she did capture the colors, the landscapes, as you spoke of, and it's something that you do step out into Ghost Ranch, you do go to Abiquiu, you do go to Taos. and it really is seeing the living picture of Georgia O'Keeffe's work. So we really appreciate you bringing this story to New
Means
Mexico.
a great deal to us
Yeah.
to
Well,
have it here.
To New Mexicans as well. Again, for more information, folks, on Georgia O'Keeffe, not just at the Aux Dog, but if you are up in Santa Fe or up in Taos and would like to see it, we will have links on our website at casa.com. Just click on the Style tab. For now, let's